My name is Jamal Woods. I am a 4th year IGM Ambassador, currently majoring in game design and development, and this is a how-to video on starting a personal project. Firstly, I want to mention why it's important to start personal projects. You may have heard this before, but if not, this is one of the most important reasons. While projects you work on in classes are a great way to learn, starting your own project gives you total control over what you're working on, your only limits being your imagination. Additionally, it shows future employers that you have a genuine interest in what you're working on and helps you stand out from other students. It's also okay to start with smaller projects. Completing smaller projects can also give you the tools you may need in future projects or assignments. Now, while game projects are popular because, well, who doesn't like to play games, there are a large number of non-game projects that you can work on that utilize coding knowledge. One of the best ways to start a non-game coding project is to think of something that would come in handy that isn't easily accessible and attempt to make it more accessible. Perhaps there is a mundane task that you could automate to make it more efficient using a website. Another way is to try using a technology you're interested in, but may not have learned about in classes. Though this is often a more intimidating route, do keep in mind that these projects are meant to give you experience into what working with certain technologies can be like. Once you have an idea for a coding project, it's time to start coding. If you aren't sure how to start, don't be afraid to reuse code from a past assignment. Additionally, the internet is a great tool for aiding you in your project. Stack Overflow is a personal favorite of mine, but sometimes you have to do a little extra digging in order to find the help you seek. When searching on Google, for example, it's often helpful to search in form of a question. YouTube tutorials can also be helpful as they can provide a more step-by-step explanation, but they can be tricky to find the right ones. Do remember, you probably won't finish your entire project in one sitting. It's okay to come back to it after some time, or even add on to it as you learn new things from school. When you do get to a point that you feel confident about your project, the next step is to get some feedback. Feedback is what will begin the polishing aspect of your project and can come from virtually anyone who can get to use your creation. If your project is a website, I highly recommend using GitHub Pages as a way to host it so that others can access it on their own. If the project is more of a standalone application, flash drives and Google Drive can be a handy way to get the files to someone so they can try it out. As for who you should look to for feedback, literally anyone who you think might have a use for what you've created. It's important to take note of the things users dislike and like. Additionally, if possible, watching someone use your project can give you insight into how someone who is brand new to your creation might interact with it. After you receive feedback from users, make changes that you think will best accommodate your users' commentary. You don't have to implement everything. Work at your own pace and choose the additions that you think will be best for your project. Once you've been working on a project for a while, though, if it isn't interesting to you anymore, it's okay to move on to a new one. Just try to avoid leaving multiple projects in an unfinished state. This has been a video on creating your own personal projects. Thanks for watching and stay safe.